Today we're going to talk about Keystone review questions. These are all practice questions that will help you do better on the Keystone exams for Algebra 1. If you don't want to hear the video, then you can mute it, but if you do want to hear it, then keep it running because you never know what hints might come about. The first question that we're going to talk about is two expressions shown below, pi x and x squared, for which value of x is the value of pi x greater than the value of x squared. That's kind of a mouthful. We have four choices here. X equals -2, x equals 0, x equals 1.5, and x equals 9. So we want to know for which one this expression, pi x, is greater or bigger than x squared. Remember, pi is around what? 3.14. So we want to multiply something times 3.14 to get something bigger than x squared. Remember, squaring is multiplying by itself. If I multiply the -2 times pi, I get a negative number. In that case, it's smaller because x squared is a positive number. In case B, if we look at that, 0 times anything is 0, so in that case, both of those expressions would be the same. 1.5 squared is a little bit more than 2, and that's not bigger than pi even, so pi times 1.5 is going to be bigger than that. And then 9, okay, so 9 squared gives us a bigger x squared value. So in this case, the correct choice is C, x equals 1.5. Because 1.5 times pi is about 4.5. 1.5 squared is about a little bit over 2. Okay, so in this case, it might be better just to calculate out your choices to see what works and what doesn't work. On to the next question. For this one, we have a list showing items Ethan and his friends brought for lunch. 2 sandwiches for $5.29 each, 2 burgers for $6.79 each, 1 bowl of soup for $3.89, and 5 drinks for $1.19 each. They paid 8% tax. They then paid a tip that was about twice the amount of tax they paid. So which is the closest estimate of the total amount Ethan and his friends paid for their food, drinks, tax, and tip? Well, again, the best choice here of strategies might be to calculate everything out. We can certainly round things to make it easier because all we're looking for is an estimate. So if I look at the 2 sandwiches for $5.29 each, an estimate of that might be $10.50. 2 burgers for $6.79 each, so about $6.75 times 2, so $12.13.50 might be a good estimate for that one. 1 bowl of soup for $3.89. Let's just round that one up to $4. And 5 drinks for $1.19 each, so that's $5 plus 1 more for the 19 cents each, so about $6 for the drinks. If I sum all those up, I've got 10, 20, 30, about $34 total. Okay. Now that's just my food. That doesn't even include the tax. It doesn't include the tip. So right away that eliminates A and B. Okay, so A and B. They're gone. 8% is about 10%, is about a little bit less than 10% of something. So 10% of 34 is about $3.40. So that's about $37. And it says they paid a tip that was about twice the amount of tax they paid. So we're talking about maybe another $6 for the tip. So if this is our tax and another $6 for tip, sorry, if I sum that up, 40 cents, which I don't really care about, this is 9, 34, and 9 is about $43. So that leads me to believe that. You can also do this work on a calculator and add things up. If you do that, then your tax, you would multiply your total by 0.08 to get the tax, and then you would multiply that by 2 to find out your tip. So that's another strategy that you can use. Hope you got that one. Yeah, that one should have just been a nice review for you. Okay. Number 5 here. Notice I'm skipping around a little bit. We'll get to some of these questions later on. Keyshawn buys 100 baseball cards to start a collection. He purchases 25 more baseball cards each week. Which equation could be used to represent the number of baseball cards B in Keyshawn's collection after W weeks? Okay, so we've been talking about different linear equations. So you've got to figure out, is this standard form? Is this slope-intercept form? So what do we have? It looks to me like we have a starting point. That's our $100. Okay, so that's our starting point. We also have a rate. Okay, because it says 25 more baseball cards each week. Each week tells us that it's a rate. Okay, so we definitely, since we have a rate and we have a starting point, we've got a slope-intercept form. So that's definitely y equals mx plus b. And you can see that by all these equations, they all say that. So the trick is to figure out, what our rate is and what our starting point is. Since we've already got that figured out, we can just substitute those numbers. So I have y equals our rate, which is 25x plus 100 is our starting point. Seeing this form, it automatically eliminates b and it eliminates d. So now we have to just figure out where the b and the w go. Well, it says how many baseball cards B will he have? So that's going to be our total. That tells me that B is going to be our Y, and the W, or number of weeks, is going to be our X. So this is, let's see, BW, that tells me that C is the correct answer for this. Hope you got that one right. For number 6, it says one of the steps Lewis used to correctly solve an equation is shown below. So what did he do? How did he get rid of those parentheses? Everybody should know this at this point. If we look, 3 times x gives us 3x, and 3 times negative 7 gives negative 21. Some of you guys know this as the rainbow. In other words, it's called the distributive property. So distributive property, we have, we can still have B and D. So for B, it says Lewis added 3 and x to eliminate the parentheses. This procedure is justified by the distributive property. Is that what we did? Did we add 3 and x? In D, it says Lewis multiplied x and 7 by 3 to eliminate the parentheses. If you remember distributive property has to do with multiplication, so that's D. I hope you didn't have any questions on that one either. That one should have been pretty easy.